Good afternoon. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. PF presidential hopeful CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI castigates government over FISP. LUWINGU District CDF Committee's failure to rehabilitate teachers' houses, IRKS residents. Join me with the details after this commercial.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
And now the media news in detail. The two Zambian Correctional Service job seekers who died last week during interviews for the ongoing recruitment exercise in Kawe were on Monday put to rest. The duo was put to rest after the state pathologist Adam Muchelengana conducted a post-mortem.
State pathologist Adam Muchelengana has conducted post-mortem on the two male candidates who died during interviews for the ongoing Zambia Correctional Service recruitment exercise in Kawe. The victims, identified as 28-year-old Stanley Suwale of Kawama Compound and a 28-year-old Mubanga Chileshe, a resident of Railways Compound, allegedly died on 1st November during a running exercise which is part of the recruitment process. By 0610 hours, relatives to the deceased were already at the mortuary. However, the pathologist came around 08 hours. The first post-mortem of Mubanga Chileshe lasted for about 1 hour 30 minutes before the second one of Stanley Suwale, which lasted for almost 2 hours. According to Mike Ngambi, a relative of the deceased Stanley Suwale, says preliminary findings of the post-mortem conducted on the two bodies revealed multiple external and internal injuries with blood clots as a result of trauma on his relative's body.
So, a lot of things have been reviewed, like traumas. In Bemba we say ukutimbirira fidia. Mulopa, this part, there are traumas like chali ingila. There are certain terms that we use to say medical intervention. Medical intervention means that sometimes if somebody goes to the hospital and maybe they want to do anything involving maybe the process of the procedure of cannulation, you expect blood to be there, like what I saw during postmortem, achkwata blood, kukuboko, then it traumas, atemwa blood ukutimbirira fidia, signs of this person was beaten.
He has, however, insisted that their deceased relative was beaten to death by inmates on instructions from correctional service officers and avowed not to relent in ensuring that justice prevails in the matter.
This person was beaten. No two ways about it.
Mike Ngambi says the family will not accept any manipulation of post-mortem results.
Even the results, we are waiting for them, quite all right, but we need to see them.
Pathologist Muchelengana could, however, not give an immediate opinion on the exact cause of death for the two victims, saying he will only be able to do so after laboratory tests for the samples collected are concluded in about 21 days. Petronella Msangulule, Camnet TV News in Kawe.
Teachers at Saili Day Secondary School in Luwingu District have abandoned the schoolhouses due to the failure of authorities to rehabilitate them since the year of 2018 when roofs were blown off by the rains.
Education is among key sectors President Hakainde Hichilema's administration has prioritized And with increased Constituency Development Fund CDF allocation to now 28.3 million kwacha in the 2023 national budget from 25.7 million kwacha in the current budget, the head of state has been calling on local authorities to make efforts to steer quality education. But a glance at Sairi Day Secondary School in LUWINGU district gives a true picture of rural hardship in the education sector, not just for learners but teachers as well. These are teachers' houses. Since the year 2018, when the roofs were blown off by heavy rains, they have remained like this, much to the disappointment of the residents who feel the CDF committee is under prioritizing the issue.
Pano, ama teachers taesa. Yafuma fema yanda, alai kalapano abananga balasambira. Ero tule ilisha nyongo kuti ama skulu ama yandaya. Tuwa watubikile kwa mutenge. Pakuti abana besu bale ikala pano ama teachers. Pakuti abana besu basambiri bwino. Efendelo mbako obuteko, batu afurisheko kuno ku LUWINGU kwa Sairi.
Tali bwino amanda ali pano pa skulu. Pano na batete tibeka ali pano pa skulu pa bulamanda. Chali etafyo obusanso bakutira amanda yawo naika na baticha bali kukwisa pano pa skulu. Kansha abantu tete basambirire bwino awo.
Chinsha lalenga. Ile mfula yalalo katakwete moto kataye ndio kuisa kuno. Limbi mfula ngala kanika pateni koloko. Elwala isa finsha la isa funda insha mawaza yengi yona kile kunganda. Free education atu ipokerera. Nomba ilo twayipokerera teacher ngana palama kwala abo kwa mpana no kukonkenshita pakuti umwana asambirire bwino akabombe nshita kuntanshi.
Learners also shared their views.
Amanda nga bali yapwishishe kuti chama panto ama teachers kuti barayikara pano then weki yonse kuti araba yizi pantu kuti twarasangwa na bene nshite iri yonse nangu kufika kuti barefika fe bwangu bambo kufunda bwangu twari totera bari tupera ama teachers pama recruits but na bene bare facing a challenge yakwa toko bare fuma kutadi then na transport na ira bashupa.
Meanwhile, social scientist Innocent Kolala has advised the CDF committee to place premium on education and taking a people-centered approach when coming up and implementing CDF projects.
These houses which have no roofs from 2018, what do you expect the teachers to do? And what we have observed is that the teachers now, they opted to be coming from the Boma, from LUWINGU, which is very, very unfortunate. 5 kilometers from here. And it is a rainy season. A teacher has no vehicle. A teacher cannot use either a motorbike, neither can use a bicycle. How do you expect a teacher to be walking 10 kilometers in a day and you expect efficiency from such kind of a teacher? This is exactly what is happening here. And we have what it takes, especially in terms of the government's will in ensuring that it puts education first, especially with the new Doni government, where we have found that education is amongst those which are a priority.
Rodriguez Mulenga is LUWINGU Town Council chairperson who shared his perspective on the matter.
When they wanted, more clinics, more CRBs in terms of classroom blocks, desks in these schools, teachers' accommodation, they wanted, a better road network in their constituents. CDFC decided to allocate to the tune of 2.8 million kwacha towards the procurement of a 36-seater bus.
If Zambia is to attain Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which seeks to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all, then such setbacks must be addressed. Patrick Soko, Camnet.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection says the cost of living for a family of 5 for the month of October 2022 in Lusaka reduced by 312 kwacha in October 2022.
Call to address public revenue leaks in order to reduce the high cost of living. The Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket, as measured by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, for a family of 5 stood at 8,537.78 ingwe for the month of October 2022. This is a reduction of about 312 kwacha from the basket recorded in September. The basket, in terms of the downward movement, is mainly attributed to items such as 40 kilograms of vegetables that reduced by 152 kwacha, as well as 16 kgs of bananas that reduced by 48 kwacha. On the non-food section, we did note the basket reduce in the price of charcoal, where 290 kilogram bags reduced by approximately 93 kwacha. The basket did record an increase of about 43 kwacha in the price of 6 kilograms of cassava. Despite the increase of fuel pump prices in the month of reflection, we do note that seasonality does continue to affect the basket, and this has been seen in items that have become cheaper. For instance, vegetables, as we move closer to the rain season, are more in abundance, as well as the price of charcoal moving away from the cold season itself. Another factor that has driven the basket is the exchange rate that we do observe as one that has been stable in the month of reflection.
Opposition Patriotic Front presidential hopeful CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI has pleaded with the current administration to stop removing farmers from the Farmer Input Support Program FISP. Dr. KAMBWILI says many vulnerable farmers will be thrown into abject poverty if they are removed from the program, adding that most farmers in the country are living below standard.
Ikila mumitima y'ababa mwinefwe befunya abantu pa FISP abruptly ngabale foku bafunya polisa wesu maybe okweba tibaba pele ko grace period na 2 years 3 years ukabata after 3 years tukamifunya hapo fili hapo but ngabali no lusyo kuchila pama pepotwa ifyo wala ikila mutima wabonesa wandi baba lekefya abantu balepoka because ilani subsidy pantu mutengo wa fertilizer wali nina to allow abantu at least abantu abasekera mu mulira FISP steba labene mupela bachitanga balima balabambya bo tapokere FISP baba pela kwa mataba baledi yako ngani mumishi. And the issue of drugs in hospitals by 20% kwa mano, the situation is very bad. Belami bepa abantu mpatala tamuli miti. There is no drugs in hospital. And again, it's the same thing of corruption. You want to remove all the suppliers that were supplying medicine from time immemorial to bringing in your new suppliers who you can easily talk to. Please stop it. Can we love this country for once? Can we put the country forward, not our own interests? Don't go that route. Stop it.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. PF presidential hopeful CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI castigates government over FISP. LUWINGU District CDF Committee's failure to rehabilitate teachers' houses, ex-residents. Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.